Have you ever had that feeling like there's got to be something more to life than just taking the path of least resistance? Well, today, we're diving into this really powerful metaphor for a journey that promises exactly that. Let's talk about the narrow road to a richer life.
Small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. You know, this single verse is thousands of years old, but it presents us with a choice that feels so relevant today. It kind of suggests that the path that's truly worth it, well, it isn't going to be the most crowded one. It's something you have to actively go out and look for.
I mean, it's a feeling we all know, right? That pull between what's easy, what's popular, and then this other choice. A choice that feels harder, maybe a bit lonely, but deep down, it just feels more true. That's really the heart of what we're getting into here.
So, let's start with this tale of two paths. Picture yourself standing at a crossroads. One road is this huge, bustling highway, super easy to get on. But the other, it's a quiet, less traveled path. And honestly, its entrance isn't even that obvious. This is the choice we all face, every single day. So on one side, you've got the wide road. It's paved with things that feel good in the moment, you know? The easy promises, doing what's crowd-pleasing to get that shallow approval. But then, on the other side, there's the narrow road. And this isn't about being restrictive, it's about going deeper. It's an authentic journey that promises something that actually sticks around. Real, lasting fulfillment. A life in all its richness.
So that kind of begs the question, right? Why would anyone choose the harder path? Well, the reward isn't what you might think. It's not about conventional success. It's about finding something called an abundant life.
And let's be really clear about what abundant means in this context. We're not talking about money or stuff. No, this is about an authentic journey, one that's lined up with a deeper truth and love. It offers that kind of fulfillment that doesn't just vanish when the next new thing comes along. It's about finding something that truly lasts.
So how do we even begin to find this abundant life? Well, the first big promise of the narrow road is that you don't have to figure it all out by yourself. This whole journey is built on the foundation of a personal relationship, a real sense of connection.
The second promise is all about the power of integrity. This is that deep, unshakable satisfaction you get from choosing what you know is right, even when it's not the popular choice. It gives you a sense of purpose that, let's be honest, getting a bunch of likes online just can't compete with.
And the third promise? This one is maybe the most powerful of all, an eternal perspective. It's this idea that when you know where you're ultimately headed, the bumps in the road suddenly don't seem so overwhelming. The destination gives the whole trip its meaning.
Now, that idea of not being alone, that's absolutely crucial. I mean, if this path is going to be challenging, you'd want a guide, wouldn't you? So let's talk about who that guide is.
And this source material is super clear here. In this story, the guide is Jesus, who's described as the ultimate trailblazer. The image here is so personal. It's not some distant figure, but a real companion for the journey, walking right there beside you, hand in hand.
And this really shows what that guidance actually looks like in practice. It means getting strength when you're facing those challenges, finding peace right in the middle of the storm, and being pointed down a path that leads to real fulfillment and gives you that deep sense of purpose. It's active, hands-on support, not just a map someone hands you.
Now, this might sound a little backward, but there's a huge emphasis on this idea that joy isn't something you just have to wait for at the finish line. It's actually something you can find right in the middle of the challenges themselves. So how do you actually do that? Well, there's some really practical advice here. First, always keep your eyes on the destination. That's your North Star. Second, be real about the struggle. It's okay to admit that it's hard. This isn't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about seeking a truly authentic life, not just blindly following a bunch of rules. And out of that authenticity, you can start to find real joy in the journey itself.
So let's just pause here for a second and think about this. When you look at your own life, what does this actually look like for you? Is it choosing to be honest when it would be easier not to? Is it staying true to yourself when the world is pulling you in a million different directions? It's a really good question to sit with.
Okay, so after walking this path, facing the challenges, finding that joy along the way, we finally arrive at the story's climax, the ultimate destination.
And this is the ultimate promise that makes the entire journey make sense. The destination is described as something beyond our wildest dreams. It's this idea that reframes everything, every struggle, every sacrifice. It all becomes a worthwhile investment in something truly incredible. And this brings us to what might be the most important insight of the whole thing. While the destination is the goal, the real transformation, that happens on the road. The courage you build, the integrity you develop, the relationships you forge, that is the richer life. The path isn't just how you get there. In so many ways, the path is the destination.
So the narrow road isn't about restriction, it's all about direction. It's a timeless story that reminds us that the most meaningful life is often found not on that crowded, easy highway, but on the path we choose with real intention and courage. I hope this gave you something to think about today. In closing, if you like this, like and share this link.